Hello, and welcome to Meds Be Fantastic. This is Buddy. He is a long-term client of mine who was feral as a puppy, so he has quite a bit of issues getting acclimated to noises and different environments and changing the environments and changing his routine. So today, what we are doing is we are introducing the Dremel for his toenails to trim his nails. He's quite a bit afraid of the noises that it makes, and so we are slowly introducing that. So what we are doing here, and what you see, is we have taken away the food because the food coincides with the Dremel noise. So you cannot hear the Dremel in this video, but it is running right now. It makes quite a loud buzzing noise. I have it sitting on the table to the left of him, and I'm giving him a momentary break so that he can breathe. As you see, his eyes get a little wide. Here I go. I'm turning on the Dremel, but he's excited because he is getting some turkey from my hand. Generally, I use peanut butter on a spoon for them to lick off for this, but he was not enticed enough by the spoon, so we used a little bit of turkey lunch meat so that I could get an accurate and consistent feeding going. And as you see, he's eating every piece, and the Dremel is running. So as we go along, he gets a little bit more relaxed. He's a little nippy with my hands at first, but as soon as the Dremel goes off, the food is taken away, and I give him momentary breaks just so that he can have some time to breathe and not be super concerned. The Dremel comes back on again. He eyes the Dremel right here. He's watching me. He's got really good handler focus. And he's also keeping an eye on that Dremel. So it turns on, and we're going to start feeding again. So while the Dremel is running, I'm going to feed continuously. And the reason why we are going to feed continuously is because I want him to associate this noise with something really good. Also, feeding will lower his excitement, his stress, his arousal. It makes him basically have to focus on feeding and to calm down. And it gives him endorphins in his brain, which helps him associate this with something happy. So we're going to continue to feed. We have at this point moved the Dremel a little bit closer. I turn the Dremel off, and the food goes away. Oh, no, I must have adjusted the Dremel. The Dremel goes off, and the food is removed. So he gets another momentary lapse here to where he can cool off and calm down. A little stress yawn there. So look at his body language here. In his body language, he's kind of searching around. He's panting, even though it's very cool in the house and it's not hot. These are signs of stress. He's a little stiff. But I have him in a downstay, which he's been trained by me previously, so he has a very nice downstay. Little ear flick going on here. All right, so we're going to start up the session again after he's had a good momentary break. Watch his eyes. Oh, his eyes get a little wide. Oh, we've turned on the Dremel again. That's concerning, but here comes the food. So we're eating while the Dremel is going. The Dremel has now been moved even closer at this point. And I had to adjust it on the table because the Dremel vibrates really hard and it kind of wiggles down across the table. So we're feeding some more here. Now that I've got the Dremel adjusted. Getting him some more turkey, and we're feeding. Good boy. Lots of good boys, lots of praise. Keep your tone really, really happy. Good boy, good boy. Good boy. And we're taking a break. The Dremel has been turned off and the food has been taken away again. So that is really important that those happen at the same time. The food is removed, placed away behind me, and then it is returned. So here I am massaging his feet. Now I want him to let me hold his feet eventually, and that's really hard for him. So in order to help with that, massaging his feet and rubbing his feet and just letting him be relaxed while I touch his feet is super, super important. Keep your feet still when I'm handling them. Let me rub them. Let me touch them. He's a little tense here. But I'm rubbing, I'm petting, I'm massaging, trying to help that as much as possible. So I continue this massage for a few more seconds, just to make sure he's comfortable. Now we're moving on to the next stage. So I'm actually going to attempt to pick up the Dremel here, which is really, really, really difficult for him because I'm holding it in my hand. See, he's very hyper aware, very hyper vigilant, tight jaw, wide eyes. He's very aware of what I'm doing. But we're going to feed while I'm holding this. And I'm just holding it away from him for now so he can just kind of get acclimated to me having it in my hand in the first place. So we work on this, we work on this, we work on this. We're feeding. And I'm kind of gauging his reaction to see if I can move forward. He's very aware of the Dremel, as you see, but he adjusts himself to where he can kind of look at the Dremel and be able to completely see it at all times because he's nervous. He wants to keep an eye on it. He wants to be hypervigilant. He wants to pay attention to this object that is making him very, very upset and scared. So now I am bringing the Dremel over simultaneously with the foods. He jumps a little bit right there. It's a little bit nervous. And we get up and we move. So here I'm going to ask for a down again. I'm going to ask him to be calm. So we approach again. He kind of jumps back there. We're going to continue with this desensitization. He jumps up and we're going to ask him to actually come forward and lay down. Good boy. And at this point, I'm like, okay, we're going to go back a step. So we're going to move the Dremel back a little bit and not get it so close to his face. Good boy. Good boy. So I'm holding it away at this point because I moved too fast. And so I'm backing up a little bit, listening to his signals and what he's saying. Very tight lips. He's nervous. He's a little wide-eyed. Good boy. But he's not too stressed not to eat, so this is good. We ended the session right there, and we put the Dremel away, we put the food away, and we gave him a reprieve. So at this point, I have given him a really good break after that because that was very stressful for him. It was hard. And so what we did here is I just basically turned it on, sitting it away from him, and just let him listen to the noise, and then we just refed again, like we had been doing previously with the sitting on the table. So it was just sitting down, it was running, but he's being fed. See, he's a lot more relaxed here. He's not as hypervigilant. He's not looking for the Dremel. And so I just wanted to end with him being really relaxed, even though we kind of pushed his limits a little bit previously. So this was a really good session for Buddy. It was really hard for him to go through all of these different things, and it was a very, very high stress situation for him. So make sure that you go at your dog's pace. If you see them being really scared or anything like that, you know, you want to take that time to give them time to acclimate, and that's really important. Hope you enjoyed this video and this tutorial for dremeling. Thank you, Sydney Talley, Mets Be Fantastic.